Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's get rocking and rolling today. Those of you on Instagram, those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube. This is Dr. Herbert Harrison. I want to welcome you to Motivation Monday. Let's see here. Good, good. All right, folks. Today is we're kicking off a new week. We're getting ready to do incredible things. And this time, I want you to be prepared. As we're closing out the year, we're picking topics to help us close out strong, close out long, so that we can accomplish that we want to accomplish. Of course, our topics are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And today, if there was one chapter, we're going to be looking at the law of persistence. As we think about this, let me also invite you to our website. All right, Sherry Amor, thanks for joining us. Our website, be sure to visit herbertharris.info, www.herbertharris.info, because we have some free goodies there, the wealth building audio, the goal setting booklet. We have information about booking a call with me to talk about some of your obstacles, some of your challenges, and how to facilitate a breakthrough. And we also have information about our home study course. You know, as you begin to prepare, as you prepare to close out this year, it's important to have all the tools necessary. Good morning, Sade. How are you today? So as we look at this closing out this year, last week we talked about things like refocusing and getting yourself on track. Well, today I want to focus on three concepts. What do you do now? What do you do next? And how do you overcome procrastination? And the reason these three concepts are very, very important is because without this paradigm, the nowness being, where am I at right now? If I look at my success GPS, if I look at whatever's going to take me from where I am to where I want to be, it only functions when you know where you are. And so this idea of now is a self-assessment, of really facing up to how you have performed to date. You know, if you've been slipping and sliding, that will show up. But if you've been pumping and gliding, that will show up too. So now, where are you right now in all your areas, in your personal life, in your family life, in your professional life, in your employment, in your spiritual life, in your community life, in all aspects of your life? Where are you? Number one. Number two, to recognize that the way to change tomorrow, the way to change the future, is based on what you do right now. And so if you do nothing right now, you have literally laid the seed of nothing. When you do nothing now in your present life, what you're really doing is saying, I accept whatever the world mind has for me. That as I travel on my journey on the river of life, wherever the river takes me is good with me. So if it takes you into poverty, woo-hoo. If it takes you into pain, woo-hoo. If it takes you into lack and limitation, woo-hoo. Welcome, Jackson. Thanks for joining us. So what you do right now really impacts the future. We often say you can't create a new past, but you can always create a new future. So what you do right now is critical. Let's look at next. Next is two things. It's the continuity of what you do right now. And next is also the manifestation of what you do right now. So if you want your next, just as an analogy, look at your next as the destination in your GPS, and look at your now as the location in your GPS. And so the essence of this journey is how to go from where you are right now to where you want to be, from now to next. Once you've gotten that pretty clear, and we've talked about it so much, you know, your next embodies your goals. Your next embodies whatever things you want to do, whatever things you want to be, whatever things you want to have this year. If you have no goals and don't have any, you know, aspirations, then the world mind will take care of you. So you cannot that's bad grammar, in the game. In other words, the fact that you're alive means that you're automatically on the river of time, and you have a choice either to do something or to do nothing. But whatever you do or do not do dictates the life you live and your next and the manifestation that you experience. So then let's look at procrastination, because procrastination is that habit, that paradigm that impacts your next and your now. So what do I mean, Doc? You see, when you have now, you have the opportunity to change next. You have the opportunity to create the life that you desire by what you do right now. When you procrastinate, when you do not do the actions that you should be doing right now, you literally put off the next. But when I say put it off, I mean this. It's not that you keep it from happening, but it's that if you procrastinate now, then that means that the world mind takes over and it takes the boat that is your life wherever it wants you to be. And so right now, if you, for example, if you're having financial challenges and you set a goal, you said, by the end of this year, I need to at least eliminate my debt. I'd like to at least pay off one credit card. Then that's where you want to be next. But if you procrastinate at saving, so you go to work, you get your check, you get your pay, you get whatever your means of income, and instead of following the mindset that you created when you said, I want to be out of debt by the end of the year, you see something shiny and you go buy it. So what you've done, you have procrastinated in going after your goal. Now, it doesn't look like it because it looked like you were doing something. Yeah, man, I went out and I got something shiny. But the point is, you did not put your energy, your vibration into that was in line with your next, the next that you wanted to create. So that next being getting out of debt, paying off one credit card. One of my good friends in Mississippi set a goal. And at first I'm like, wow, why would you do that? Okay. And their goal, they had 10 years left on their mortgage, and they together decided that they were going to pay it off. Now, at the time, they had a great lower interest rate, but it was a variable mortgage. So you think about this, I don't know the exact interest rate, but I would have presumed based on the time that they had the mortgage, the interest rate was maybe 3% to 4%. And now, if they had not, and they had a variable rate mortgage, then their mortgage payment could double. When the interest rates, the government raised the interest rate, the government is like the river of time. It runs. But if they had not made that move, then now the interest rate is over 7%. So what could have been $1,000 a month mortgage may now be an $1,800 a month mortgage. So if they had procrastinated, they said, wow, I'd like to pay off my mortgage in 2 years, but they procrastinated. Look at the impact. Their mortgage could have jumped from $1,000 to $1,800 a month. And that's what I'm saying. Procrastination causes you to do things in the now that really profoundly impact the next. So how do you overcome procrastination? We must all agree that this is critical. On pages 188 and 189 of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, there's a nice section, how to overcome procrastination. And it says, number one, to realize that procrastination is the main cause of failure. So when you look back over your life and you look at the things that did not work, the pain that was caused, the losses that you experienced, you'll very often see a root cause of procrastination, that you should have taken advantage of an opportunity, that you should have gotten somebody out of your life long before they stole your checkbook. You knew they were going to steal it. You just procrastinated in getting rid of them. So to realize that procrastination is the main cause of failure. Number two, to recognize that when procrastination is the thief of dreams, that when you procrastinate, nothing good happens. You waste time. Your duties go unperformed. You missed opportunities. You miss important engagements, and your life slips away like grains of sand. You ever go on the beach? You pick up a handful of sand, and if you do nothing, if you just stand there and hold it, the wind will blow every grain away. Procrastination is like that. If you don't do something, your life will blow away like grains of sand in the wind. Number three, and this is the biggie, folks, have a definite schedule and stick to it. You notice that every Monday I'm here at 8 o'clock. Every Wednesday I'm here at 8 o'clock. Every Friday I'm here at 8 o'clock. That's my commitment to you, but also to myself. And so when you keep your schedule, it puts you in a rhythm, into a vibration that sets you up for success. When you're consistent, one of the beautiful things I find about consistency is you get a great blessing from it. But when people see that you are consistent, they have a different attitude about you. When you're consistent and people notice it, that time when you may need that person. I've told stories before, people have helped me and I had no idea that they knew what I was doing. But when I asked, why did you help me? I'm almost a stranger. They say, we saw how you were consistent in taking care of your uncle, how you were consistent. You always showed up at every day I could set my clock by you. And so having a definite schedule and stick to it also gives you a way to evaluate your progress. If you are setting out to do 3 things a day and you get them done before 12 o'clock, then you're not tasking yourself. You're not pushing yourself hard enough. If you set out to do 12 things and you're only doing 5 or 6, then you may not be functioning as efficiently as you could be. The schedule is the measuring rod by which you can evaluate your performance. Number 4, always have a list of things to do every day. If they're not specific things that you want to accomplish each day, then you're wasting a day. So always have that list of things to do. And not only have a list, but to set a time to do each thing. Now that's the kicker. Anything you do not schedule will probably not get done. Have you noticed when you have appointments, when you tell people you're going to meet them somewhere, and when you don't write it down, you'll find that very often you miss them. They go right by. You don't get it done. And so having that list of things to do and the time when they're supposed to be done. Make my calls from 10 to 12. Do my reading from 8 to 9. You know, my daily schedule is 7 o'clock. Well, I get up at 6. 7, I get out into the world. 6 to 7 is a meditative time, special time. 7 o'clock, I'm rolling. 7:45, I'm in the studio. 8 o'clock, I'm either doing my 8 o'clock call or doing my other 8 o'clock chores. 8:30, this is gonna laugh, you're gonna crack. I'm taking vocal lessons. I've decided that I'm gonna sing. I didn't think I could sing. And I bet there are things you didn't think you could do. But once you make up your mind, not enough to say, I'm gonna sing, but you have to take specific steps. So from 8:30 to 9 every day, Monday through Friday, I do my vocal lessons. 9 o'clock, I do my formal meditation. From 9 to 9:30, I have a very structured healing meditation. Breakfast every morning at 9:30 to 10:15. Now, I'm not sharing that. I'm just saying that when you can structure your life like that, where everything becomes automatic, you don't have to wake up wondering what you're going to do that day. That takes your time. That undermines your operation. Number 5, make a definite commitment to always be on time. Let me tell you something. If you're not always on time, the moment you develop a reputation for being late, that thing will cling to you like cold on a cold day. Always be on time. Be on time with such accuracy that people can predict, they can set their watch by you. Number 6, make realistic assessments of the amount of time required for each activity. This is important because this is how you can undermine your efforts, by setting unreasonable expectations on the amount of time it takes to get something done. This is important because this is one of those things that you can create disappointment in yourself because you set a standard that was not realistic. You gave an hour's time you allocated for a 3-hour job. And so you're always going to get frustrated. So make realistic assessments of the time that it takes to do a job. So it's not only about making a list of what you have to do, but in that list, put a little parenthesis and put the time allocation. Just seeing it and say, okay, I'm going to leave 2 hours to make calls. Now, if I say I'm going to make 50 calls in 2 hours, that's not going to happen. But your experience tells you that in every call, in every hour, you can make 7 to 10 calls if you don't lollygag. So then when you say, okay, I'm going to set aside 2 hours to make calls, and my goal is to make 15 calls, that's doable, and you should accomplish it, and you'll get the results. Number 7, handle one activity at a time until it's completed. Now, some of you young folks may differ with me because everybody's talking about multitasking. And I'll just say this, okay? My mom said it, Sandra says it. She says, men can only do one thing at a time. She says, women can multitask. She says, a woman can feed the baby, prepare breakfast, set out the clothes, okay, give instructions to the older kids on getting out to school, kiss the dad, all moving around. So for women, I apologize because obviously you have the ability to multitask on a completely different level. Okay? So I can see that point. But basically, looking at that other picture, if you do one thing at a time, then you can take advantage of the satisfaction of completion. Let's see. I am Billy, concierge. Thank you for joining us. And Countess Kane, thank you. And Jackson, of course, Jackson Melvin. So this idea of handling one activity at a time, the point is to finish something. Very often there are people who are starters, but not great finishers. Welcome, King Love. Thanks for joining us. So handling one thing at a time is to be a finisher. Whatever you start, finish. And when I say finish, complete. Don't leave stuff hanging. Number 8, whenever you have big stuff to do in a day, break it down into smaller components. You know, the big picture is one thing, but if you can't break that big picture down to smaller components, you can undermine your results. There's I think a Chinese proverb that says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And so when you are confronted with complex situations, pick out the first that has to be done, the second has to be done, put them in order, and then just follow that. As they say, just put one foot in front of the other, and over time you will resolve any complex challenge. Number 9, don't crowd your calendar with so many appointments that you can't get them done. See, you can undermine yourself. You can disappoint yourself. If you find it, and see, that's why it's so important to keep a record and to write this stuff down. If you start out the night before with a list of 20 things to do, and you've allocated time, once you start allocating the time for each thing to be done, it can kind of give you a clue that you're setting yourself up for failure. But at the end of the day, when out of the 20 things, you only got 6 done, then that means you're crowding your calendar with too many things. So if you find that you're having more things left at the end of the day than when you started, than you want to have, then that means you need to adjust your calendar. Maybe you're not allowing enough time for each individual activity. But you can only see this when you have a record. You notice every business runs on records. Your life must run on a record, and your daily plan is the record of your life. Number 10. Now this is the biggie. Do not fear criticism. Do not let fear of criticism or fear of failure slow you down. You see, when you're in the operation mode of accomplishing the things of your life, criticism is going to show up. If you're operating and working at something and nobody's criticizing, you're probably not doing anything important. If you're working at something and that thought comes into your mind, wow, nobody's ever done this before, that's a good sign. So as you go through to execute your plans each day, many times you don't want to share your plans with other people. People can see that you're getting things done and will criticize you. I see you working hard, but you're neglecting your kids. I see you working hard, but I know inside you're not happy. See, people's criticism is often a reflection of their own inadequacies and their own negative feelings. So don't let fear of criticism or fear of failure. Look at every failure as a dress rehearsal for success. So when something doesn't work, this means, hey, I got to fix it. Okay. What do I need to learn? If this didn't work, what is the lesson I must learn that can transform me so that I can get the desired results? So let's summarize, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us today. That what you do now impacts your next. So there's 3 concepts: now, next, and procrastination. What you do now is an assessment of where you're at and an opportunity for change. What you do. What you do next is the manifestation of what you do now. It can either be the result of your choices and your actions, or let the world mind, the river of time, to dictate your life. And then procrastination is a commitment to always do it now, to always ask yourself that time question: what is the best use of my time right now when I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose? And then act accordingly. These 10 steps to overcome procrastination. Realize that procrastination is the main cause of failure. Number 2, don't permit procrastination. Understand that procrastination causes bad things to happen in your life. Number 3, have a definite schedule and stick to it. Number 4, make a list of the things you have to do each day and an assessment of the amount of time required. Number 5, make a definite commitment to always be on time, no matter what. Number 6, make a realistic assessment of the amount of time each activity takes and allow yourself enough time to make adequate preparations to get it done. Number 7, handle one activity at a time until it is completed. Number 8, break complex challenges down into simple, doable steps. How do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. Number 9, don't overcrowd your calendar. Monitor your progress so at the end of the day, you're getting at least 80% of the things you set out to do each day done. 80% minimum. And finally, number 10, don't let fear of criticism or fear of failure slow you down. Don't let it undermine your ability to make powerful decisions. So when you can do these things, then you can use every now to create the next of your dreams, and use procrastination, something to be overcome. Procrastination is neutralized by action. The Bible says, whatsoever your hand findeth to do it with all your might. And that means to always take effective, efficient action. That when you can do these things, you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, have whatever you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is. Just take a deep breath for a moment. Thank you for being with us. I want to remind each and every one of you, listen to this broadcast over and over. This is one of those broadcasts that if you can internalize it, it can change your life. Be sure to get a copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. You can go to our website, herbertharris.info. It's on Amazon, most bookstores, but this is your success Bible. Share this broadcast with somebody you care about, because I guarantee you, as they're beginning to close this year out, they need it. And finally, be sure to visit herbertharris.info. There's a beautiful free audio on wealth building. That may be what you need to prepare you financially to close out this year. There's a booklet on goal setting to help you lay out what you have to do so that you can close strong and begin stronger. You can make a call. You know, we're working on a new book and we're interviewing people. We want to know about your challenges, about your victories, about how you were able to make a breakthrough. So click on book a call and speak directly with me. And then finally, the home study course. Let me tell you something, friend. Folks, being on these broadcasts is fine, essential. But the home study course is a course that you can use at your pace, where you can do 4 things. It will help you assess your situation. It will help you address your situation to create the life of your dreams. It will help you lay out plans to change your life in a meaningful way. And it will help your commitment to take action to get it done, a 4-part class. So be sure to get that. It's called New You for the New Year, home study course. And we have it on sale now. It's like $47. That's the most profound $47 you will ever spend. Go to herbertharris.info for more information. Once again, thank you so much for being with us. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Motivation Monday, your opportunity to come to the water hole of life, come to the success, oasis. Come to the success oasis and drink of the knowledge and drink of the vibrations that can help you be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is.